A young man, son of a black cleaning lady, stood tall, fluent in 9 languages. He faced an Arab millionaire's mocking laughter in a gleaming office tower. You? The tycoon sneered, dismissing his dreams. But one bold move flipped everything, exposing a raw truth about prejudice that burned deeper than words. In moments, the room fell silent, stunned by a revelation no one saw coming. What did he do to shatter the millionaire's arrogance? This is a story of courage, hidden scars, and a truth that demands to be heard. Malik, a wiry 24-year-old with a quiet smile, lived for books and languages. Raised by his mother, a cleaning lady who scrubbed office floors at night, he taught himself 9 languages in their cramped apartment, dreaming of a world beyond their struggling neighborhood. Each evening, he'd sit at a wobbly kitchen table, earbuds in, practicing phrases under the hum of a flickering bulb. Life was simple: work at a local bookstore, study, repeat. But that night, as he walked to a job interview in a sleek downtown tower, a shadow loomed. The air felt heavy, charged with something unspoken. Malik didn't know it yet, but his world was about to unravel. Malik stepped into the gleaming office tower, his worn sneakers squeaking on polished marble. The receptionist's eyes flicked up, then narrowed, lingering on his faded jacket. He clutched his resume, the paper creased from nervous hands, and offered a polite smile. She didn't return it. Instead, she pointed him to a glass-walled boardroom where the Arab millionaire, Mr. Al-Rashid, waited. Malik's heart thudded. This interview was his shot, a translator job that could lift him and his mother out of their cramped life. He'd practiced for weeks, his 9 languages flowing like a river in his mind. But the air in the room felt wrong, thick with unspoken judgment. Al-Rashid, in a tailored suit, barely looked up from his phone. "You're the linguist?" he asked, his tone dripping with skepticism. Malik nodded, voice steady, and began listing his skills. Arabic, French, Mandarin, each word precise, confident. But Al-Rashid's lips curled into a smirk. "A cleaning lady's son?" he said, loud enough for the room to hear. A few executives chuckled, their eyes cutting through Malik like glass. He swallowed, his throat dry, but kept going, explaining his self-taught journey. The laughter grew sharper, slicing into his composure. Al-Rashid leaned forward, his voice low. "People like you don't belong in places like this," he said, gesturing to the opulent room. "Stick to sweeping floors." Malik's chest tightened, anger simmering beneath his calm exterior. He wanted to shout, to demand respect, but the weight of their stares pinned him down. The room felt smaller, the walls closing in. Then came the test, a complex Arabic contract thrown on the table. "Translate it," Al-Rashid said, smirking, expecting failure. Malik's hands trembled as he picked up the document. He could feel every eye on him, waiting for him to stumble, to prove he was out of place. But as he scanned the text, something shifted. His mind clicked into focus, years of study flooding back. He began to translate, his voice steady, each word perfect. The executive's smirks faded. Al-Rashid's brow furrowed, his confidence cracking. Then, a curveball, a phrase in the contract, deliberately obscure, a trap to humiliate him. Malik paused, his pulse racing. The room was silent, the tension suffocating. If he got this wrong, he'd be dismissed, his dreams crushed under the weight of their prejudice. But if he got it right, could he turn their mockery into shock? Malik's voice wavered as he faced the obscure Arabic phrase, the room's silence pressing against him like a vice. Al-Rashid's smirk widened, certain of his failure. The executives leaned forward, their eyes gleaming with expectation, ready to see the cleaning lady's son crumble. Malik's mind raced. Years of late nights, his mother's tired hands, the weight of their dreams all collided in this moment. His fingers tightened on the contract, sweat beading on his brow. He could feel the sting of their prejudice, the assumption he was less than them, unworthy of this glass-walled world. But something inside him snapped. He wouldn't let them win. He took a breath, deep and steady, and spoke. The translation poured out, each word sharp, flawless, cutting through the room's arrogance like a blade. Al-Rashid's smirk vanished. The executives shifted, their faces paling as Malik unraveled the trap with precision. Then, he went further. He pointed to a hidden clause in the contract, a deliberate error Al-Rashid had overlooked, one that could cost his company millions. The room froze. Malik's voice grew bolder, exposing the tycoon's incompetence in front of his own team. The injustice that had mocked him now turned, the spotlight searing Al-Rashid's pride. The millionaire's face twisted, anger flashing in his eyes. "Enough," he barked, slamming his hand on the table. But it was too late. Malik stood tall, his quiet strength commanding the room. The executives whispered, their respect shifting, the air electric with the weight of what had just happened. Malik had turned their prejudice into his power, but the victory felt hollow. The sting of their earlier laughter lingered, a reminder of the world's cruelty. Malik left the tower that day, his head high but his heart heavy. Al-Rashid offered him the job, a grudging nod to his brilliance, but the victory tasted bitter. The executives' whispers followed him out, their respect hard-won but tainted by the prejudice that had sparked this ordeal. Back in the cramped apartment, Malik sat with his mother, her tired eyes brimming with pride as he recounted the day. Yet, the sting of Al-Rashid's words lingered, a reminder that no amount of skill could erase the assumptions tied to his skin, his roots, his mother's calloused hands. Malik vowed to keep pushing, to use his voice to challenge the world's biases. This wasn't just Malik's story. It was the story of countless others, people judged not for their actions, but for who they were. The office tower, with its polished floors and cold stares, was a microcosm of a world where talent is too often overshadowed by prejudice. Malik's triumph exposed a truth. Brilliance can break through, but the fight is far from over. Every day, people face the same quiet, cutting dismissals, assumptions that chip away at dreams, at dignity. His story, inspired by real struggles, demanded reflection. How many others are silenced before they get the chance to speak? How many rooms still echo with laughter that hides ignorance? Malik's defiance became a spark, a call to question the biases we all carry. His 9 languages weren't just words. They were weapons against a system that tried to box him in. This story isn't the end, it's a challenge. Look around. Listen. See the people fighting to be seen. Will you let their stories fade, or will you amplify their voices? Share this truth, reflect on its weight, and ask yourself, what will it take for the world to finally change?